केते प्रकार डिफिकल्टीज बा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी भीतर अछि she added, and when they come to know of this they will try to arrange my marriage. Actually, when I was not selected for scholarship, my family members justified themselves that it is not affordable the expenses for our education or for our study, and better for us to settle in marriage. Someone is coming to have a look at me tomorrow. That means tomorrow. Tomorrow the selection for candidatureship. झील पिलांकर जो मैरिज सिलेक्शन पे आसंती तुमरो से माने कोन करिवे परहाप्स आसीबे तेणु करी मु भाबिची आज सुधा मो मैरिज टा कोन करी बुफर भीतर कंप्लीट करी someone is coming to have a look at me tomorrow के जन मते देखिया में आस tomorrow no she cried hastily in the sense emotionally से इमोशन रो सहित कोन कले ना कांदीबे आरंभ कला कि ना छी ना मु के भी बात I don't want to marry, I want to study. It is nothing but actually the grievances towards women ostracize or humiliation. ଆମର ବିଶେଷ କରି ଯୋଉ ମହିଳା ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଶୋଷଣ କରାଯାଏ ନିର୍ଯାତନା ଦିଆଯାଏ ପ୍ରିଭେନ୍ସନ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରି ଅକୁପେସନ ଗୋଟେ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ ବା ମେଡିସିନ କିଛି କଣ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ ଏଡୁକେଟେଡ ଥିବା ସେତେବେଳେ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମର ପର୍ସପେକ୍ଟିଭ ରହିବ ଏମ ଆଉ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟିଭ ରହିବ ଫର women empowerment successfully achieved. The silent night was stopped by her sobbing, and some night bird rustled and the water, and oblets beat upon the shore. Actually, students, nature is always a benedictory for human suffering as well as pain. आमे प्रत्येक पाखरु किछि ना किछि मोरल लेसन पाउछु पक्षी मानक पाखरु मोरल लेसन पाउछु स्टार्ट योर जॉब सर्च फॉर फूड फ्रॉम मॉर्निंग टू इवनिंग हेला पक्षी माने घर को पळि आछथि गोटे प्रकार मोरल लेसन काना नाइट आवर का आम पई केबेले सफिशिएंट हे परिबनी पॉजिटिव आनी पारे न आनी पारे सेठी पोजीशन जेते डिस्कशन चली जे इन द साइलेंट नाइट रे सेते बेले कोन हेछि पोखरी कूल को रस्टल अर्थात दरबर हेकि सबुआडे जेतिले हरर एक मैनर रे हेक्टिक मैनर रे उडी आछथि को माने पक्षी माने आउ बेले बेले जानथिबो बहुत पक्षी माने आसी कोन करंती रेस्ट नियंती वाटर लेवल ऊपर केते कोन मध्य नियंती दिया प्रक्रिया बीट अपन दी शोर जेते बेले कोन हेछि पक्षी माने बसी पडिचंती पानी ऊपर सेते बेले कोन होउछि इट इज द नेचुरल लॉ टू क्रिएट पॉपलेट्स किछि किछि तरंग सृष्टि हो जेते बेले तुम जोटी कोनछि टेका किमा गुटे स्टिक टाको बुरेइ दियो एटलीस्ट सेति किछि हो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सरफेस स्टेशन दैट विल बी समथिंग टाइप ऑफ मूवमेंट ऑफ द अपर लेयर बट so seeing her suffer he found his own sorrows in a life came to his mind दुखी ही प्रकृति रे दुखी रो कथि छै sorrow begets sorrow richness begets richness money begets money knowledge begets knowledge भाविनी अपिले जेते बेले गोटे दुखी लोक पाखरे गोटे दुखी लोक कोन कला दुख गला सेते बेले प्रकृति रे जे दुखी से बुझी परियो मो जीवन में बदे एई बड़ी सफरिंग आसी देखो seeing her suffers he found his own sorrows in life came to his mind watchman मध्ये ता जीवन रो दुख कथा मन पड़ी गला how in those far of times विगत दिन मानकर far of माने विगत दिन the actually previous days in his little village home an epidemic of cholera laid out his father mother and brothers on the same day गोटे दिन भीतर शीतल listen गोटे फैमिली रे वॉचमैन फैमिली रे एपिडेमिक गोटे कलरा जानथि रिलेटिंग टू हम जो ओडिया रे कहि छै गोटे एपिडेमिक असल एंड सेतरे क्यों माने कैरेड अप हे गेले हिज फादर ता बापा वॉचमैन नकर बापा ताको मामा आउ तांकर ब्रदर्स माने सब गुडा कोन हेले गोटे डेट दिन तांकर डेथ हे गला एंड ही वाज सोल सर्वाइवल ताको घर रो से एकमात्र बची जाइतबा व्यक्ति विशेष ही तो वॉचमैन how he was turned out of his ancestral home through the tricky of his father's kinsmen तांको बापांकर जो ज्ञाति कुटुंब माने थिले से माने कोन कले तांको घरियो को तोड़ी देले काना जानि थी को एक्चुअली ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜଣଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ସର ଆସେ ଦୁଃଖ ଆସେ ସେତେବେଳେ ସର୍ଭିଲାନ୍ସ ପାଇଁ ସବୁ ଲୋକମାନେ ଆସିପାରିବେନି। ବହୁତ ଲୋକମାନେ କଣ କରିଥିବ ଦୁଃଖ ପଡିଲା ବେଳେ ଆହୁରି ତମକୁ ଦୁଃଖ ଦେବେ। ସେଇଥିପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ଅଛି, ବିଶେଷ କରି ତୁମେ ଜାଣିଥିବ actually quotation when actually students misfortune doesn't come alone। ଏକୁଟିଆ କୌଣସି ଦୁର୍ବିପାକ ଆସିବନି, ହୋଇ ପରେ ପରେ ମରୁଡି ଆସିବ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫ୍ଲଡ୍ ହେଇଛି ତାପରେ ପରେ ଡ୍ରଟ୍ ଆସିବ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ୱାର ହେଇଛି ତାପରେ ପରେ ଏପିଡେମିକ ଆସିବ, ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ ସିଓର। ତେଣୁକରି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମ ପାଇଁ ଫାଇନାନ୍ସିଆଲ କ୍ରାଇସିସ୍ ଆସିଛି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରାଇସିସ୍ ଆସିବାର ସମ୍ଭାବନା ଅଛି, ବଟ୍ वी must have to rank your chest, you must have to face the challenge, you must have to commit the challenge with your common sense or your common attitude। So students, listen, he was the sole survivor, how he was turned out to be ancestral home। ତାର ଯୋଉ ପୂର୍ବପୁରୁଷ ମାନଙ୍କର ଘର ଥିଲା, ତା ପାଟର୍ନାଲ ପ୍ରପର୍ଟି ଥିଲା, ଘର ବାଡି ଥିଲା, ସେଠୁ ଟର୍ନ ଆଉଟ ତଡି ଦେଲେ through the trickery of his father's kinsmen and wandered as an orphan। A man without parents, a child without parents is well quoted by one word substitution, orphan, suffering indescribable hunger and privation। ରହିବା ପାଇଁ କୋଉ ଘର ଦ୍ୱାର ଅଛି, ପେଟକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଖାଇବାକୁ ଦାନା କିଏ ଦଉଛି। It is the commitment, it is the version of the watchman, that is a moral lesson or learning for the girl concerned। Everyone has his own miseries, very fine quotation। ଏ ଦୁନିଆରେ କୋଉ ଲୋକ ନାହିଁ ଜୀବନରେ ତାର ଦୁଃଖ ନ ଆସିଛି। Prime Minister Modi is there, but consider or think about his ancestors, they are the tea sellers। ସେମାନେ ଚା ଦୋକାନ କରି ଚା ବିକୁଥିଲେ, that is history, if you consider yourself। There are topmost personalities world over, ବହୁତ ବଡ ବଡ ଲୋକମାନେ ବି ଅଛନ୍ତି, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର if you consider the case of Anil Ambani and Mukesh Ambani, Dhirubhai Ambani, and what are their ancestors, they were selling pakoda। So far as the life history is concerned, they are also relating or drizzling themselves or selling in petrol pumps। That's life history। ଆଜି ଯେ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଗରିବ କାଲି ଗରିବ ହୋଇ ରହିବ ମାନେ ନାହିଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଗୋଟେ ଜିନିଷ ଆସେ ଗରିବ ସମୟରେ ମଣିଷ ମଣିଷକୁ ଚିହ୍ନିବାର ବାଟ ଆସେ। So students, suffering indescribable hunger and privation, ରହିବା ପାଇଁ ସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ, ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ କିଛି ମୋ ପାଖରେ ନାହିଁ। What? Everyone has his own miseries, he said। ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଲୋକଙ୍କର କିଛି ଦୁଃଖ ଅଛି ଏ ସମାଜରେ, ଏ ସଂସାରରେ। If people try to kill themselves, କିନ୍ତୁ ଦୁଃଖ ସମୟରେ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଆମ ନିଜକୁ କଣ କରିବା, ମାରି ପାରିବା, କମିଟ କରିବା ସୁଇସାଇଡ। For each one of them, ଯଦି ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଲୋକ ଏଇଭଳି ପ୍ରକାର ଡିସିସନ ନିଅନ୍ତି, I don't know how often they would have to drown। କେମିତି କଣ ଏ ସମାଜର ସମୃଦ୍ଧି ଘଟିବ, ଏ ସମାଜରେ କେମିତି କଣ ବିକଶିତ ଘଟିବ, ତାହେଲେ ଆମର କେମିତି ନିଜକୁ ନିଜ ଆମେ ସର୍ଭିଲାନ୍ସ ବା ସର୍ଭାଇଭ କରିପାରିବା। He remembered further incidents and his voice ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦୁଃଖର କଥା ଗୁଡା ଆମ ମନରେ ପଳେଇ ଆସେ, ଆମ ଭଏସ ଟା କଣ ହୁଏ, ସ୍ଲୋ ଲାଇକ ସବଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସେସ ଗୁଡାକ ଆସିଯାଏ। You were young and you don't know what sorrow is। ତମେ ହଉଛ ଗୋଟେ ଯୁବତୀ, young also, ତମେ ଏ ଯାକେ ଦୁଃଖ କଣ ଜାଣିନ। That's why you are talking about the commitment of suicide। ଲାଇଫ ରେ ସୁଇସାଇଡ ଲାଇକ ସବଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସେସ ଆସିବ, କମ୍ପଲସନ ଆସିବ, still then we must have a patience, we must have to face the challenge। He remained silent and sob broke out of him and he said, I prayed to all the gods in the world for a son। My wife bore me 8 children। ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ କଥା ମନେ ରଖ, ଖାଲି ମୋ ପରିବାର ଭିତରେ ଯେ ସମସ୍ତେ particularly I prayed, sorry, listen, he remained silent and so broke out of him as he said, ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ଅନ୍ତର ସେତେବେଳେ କଣ କଲା, ଟିକେ ଭାବ ବିହଳ ହେଇଗଲା। I pray to all the gods in the world for a son। ଏବଂ ମୋ ୱାଇଫ କଣ, ମୁଁ ଭଗବାନଙ୍କୁ ଡାକୁଥିଲି ଗୋଟେ ପୁଅ ପାଇଁ। My wife bore me 8 children। ମୋର 8ଟା ପିଲା, only one daughter lives now। ତାମାନେ 7 ଜଣ, no, and none of the others saw the 11th year। କେହି ଆଟଲିଷ୍ଟ 11 ବର୍ଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ବଞ୍ଚିକିରି ରହିନାହାନ୍ତି, before that they are washed away by the misfortune। The God looked at him in bewilderment। ମୋର ଏକୁଟିଆ ବାପା ନଥିଲେ, ମୋର ଏକୁଟିଆ ମାମା ନଥିଲେ, ମାମା ଆଗେ ଚାଲି ଯାଇଥିଲେ, ମୋ ପାଖେ ଆସିଲେ ଷ୍ଟେପ ମଦର, one type of protection। तापर मो बापा चली गले मो बापा ना माँ ना किंतु मोर सोकल्ड स्टेप मदर अच्छा फिर भी ये लोकर कहीं नहीं बापा नाई माँ नाई भाई मान को कलरा एपिडेमिक नहीं गला आकर पुनी चिल्ड्रेन थिले 8 जण 7 जण 11th ईयर कंप्लीट पूर्व वास्ट अवे बाय मिसपर्सन ताले ये लोक तो पुनी बंची से गाल पर विस्मयकर हो गला बी विल्डरमेंट इन सफ्यूज्ड मूड in confusing mood, in suspense mood, in one type of a prediction is there. At a fix, bewilderment means what? At a fix. King kartavya mudo. The taluk office comes strong again. It is late. You had better get up and go home, he says. तापर पर जानी थी तालुक ऑफिस इज नियर बाय परहाप्स तहसील ऑफिस तालुक ऑफिस हमें जोटा कहू नियर बाय रही छि एवं तार वार्निंग मध्ये पूरी कोन कला ना घंटार तार रिंगलिंग साउंड आसिला it is late according to the watchman you had better get up उठी पड़ and go home he said तापर घर को फेरी जाओ she replied I have no home मोर घर नाही he felt irritated विरक्ति हे गेले कि तो watchman you are making too much of nothing तमे जो काम गुडा बहुत कहउछ से गुडा सब अकारण वृथा nothing you should not be obstinate तमे तो जिद्दी हुओनी एते डिसवर्ड हुओनी एते डिसमे को आसन एते अधत्त हुओना obstinate निज जिद रे अटल हुओना you must not conform yourself towards your determination that is not wise for the society concerned you don't know my trouble she said Jesus को अपन मोर problem जानी ना you don't know my trouble he picked up his lantern and stopped and got out से कर lantern टा को धरिला किए ना particularly watchman he put her letter down where he found it जो जगह लेटर टा कहथिले से जगह पुनी लेटर टा को रखी देला if you are going to obstinate यदि तमे अद्भुत हबो dismay हबो disobey करिवो according to my version I will leave you alone मु तुमको एकुटिया जगह छाड़ी करी चली जिबे no one can blame me एबे जे तमे किछि कमिट करिवो सेपे मते के ब्लेम करिबेनी कैन I am not available here no one can say that the watchman is available still then the girl is committing suicide अरे तापर कोन लेटर ये he passed for a moment that किछि बात पड़े गल এটা টি প্রিন্টিং নাই তো কোন করিবি कॉलेज रे कहितले he paused for a moment से जोटा कहिथिबे कॉलेज भी सेटा को मन रखो काने जगह प्रिंटिंग नाही खाली पीटा अछि for a moment looked at her किछि समय पुनी ताको कोन कले छांटिले and went up the steps paused in the sense stop for a moment किछि कोन रहि गेले भाबी बा thinking process paused for a moment and looked at her ताको चाहिले and went up the step रे कोन कले चली चली not a words passed between them again तापरे से गान आउ वचमन भितरे गुटे प्रकार भी कोनसी प्रकार कम्युनिकेशन बा कन्वर्सेशन करेस्पोंड करते the moment he came back to duty next morning he hurried down the stone steps तापरे तो जेतेबेले से ता आसिले सखाळ को परदिन कोउदी की ना प्रकृति रे देखिबे व्हाट इज द सिचुएशन इज गोइंग ऑन से गाल ता अवेलेबल अछि ना डेथ हे जाई छी जदी डेथ हे थिबो और लाश मस्ट बी प्रोटीन तर डेड बॉडी ता निश्चित रूप में आसुथिबो से कोन कले ना सब बडे सर्च कले द लेटर ले वेयर ही had she had dropped it on the previous night जो जगह लेटर ता से पकईतिले प्रीवियस नाइट रे से जगह लेटर ता रहितिला he picked it up and gazed on it helplessly wishing that it could tell him about the fate of the girl after he had left her आउथरे से लेटर ता को देखिले जे प्रकृति रे एक्स्ट्रा किछि सप्लीमेंटेशन हेछि कि जिया आउ किछि ऐड करिछि कि कारण कोन पई ना लास्ट नाइट रे जेति किथिला से लेखा गुडे सेति को मु देखि नेली आउ जेति एक्स्ट्रा किछि सप्लीमेंट करितिबो ताले मु जानिबो श्योर से कंटिन्यूस टू डेथ कमिटमेंट ऑफ डेथ कमिटमेंट ऑफ सुसाइड अछि कि से बर्तन गोटा एम्बिगुअसली रहि जंदी के ना वॉचमैन He tore it up and flung it into the water. Tear tore torn. সেটাকে চিরি দেবে and flung it out. পানি ভিতরে. As he watched, the beads stood up on ripples. ପାଣିର ଉପର ସ୍ତରକୁ ଢେଉ ଆଡକୁ ଯୋଉ ଛୋଟ ଛୋଟ କଣ ହୁଏ ପାଣିର ଆସେ ଢେଉରେ ଏ ଯୋଉ ରିପିଲ ଛୋଟ ଖଣ୍ଡ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କ୍ରିପ୍ଟ ପେପର ଚିରା ପେପର ଗୁଡା ଭାସିବାକୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲା. He blamed himself for leaving her and going away on the previous night. The watchman blamed himself. That to certain extent I am responsible. Had I not left that girl alone, she could not have made any type of mistake or commitment relating to suicide. It is the prediction. Still then, the watchman was not sure whether the girl can be better. He could never look at the blue expanse of water again with an easy mind. Even many months later, he could not be certain that the remains of a body would come off all on a sudden. Who knows? It sometimes happens that the body gets strong. Deep down, he reflected. Blue level of water, ନୀଳ ଜଳରାଶି ଉପରେ କଣ କଲେ ଦେଖିଲେ ସବୁ କଣ ସ୍କ୍ରିପ୍ଟ ପେପର ଗୁଡାକ ଭାସୁଛି ସତ ଏପଟ ସେପଟ ସର୍ଚ୍ଚ କଲେ ଯୋଉଠି ଡେଡ ବଡି ବା ଲାଷ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଫ୍ଲୋଟିଂ ଷ୍ଟେଜରେ ନାହିଁ ତେଣୁ ପୁଣି ଯେ ପ୍ରେଡିକ୍ସନ ତାଙ୍କର ଆସିଲା ଡେଡ ବଡି ଏମିତି ବି ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ହୁଏ ସିଙ୍କ ଡାଉନ ବେଳେ ବେଳେ ପାଣିରେ ବୁଡିଯାଏ ଡବଲ ପର୍ସପେକ୍ଟିଭ ଇଜ देयर इट इज ऑप्टिमाइजिंग इन एटीट्यूड एंड एट्रिब्यूशन. Years later, on one evening, he stood on the board and took a final survey before going home. He saw a car draw up. Years later, କିଛି ବର୍ଷ ପରେ, one evening he stood on the board. ସେଠି କଣ କରିଥିଲେ ପୋଖରୀର ଧାରରେ ଛିଡା ହେଇଥିଲେ କିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଲାଇନ no one is there. ଦେଖ he saw a car draw up on the road below. Adyas is available. Okay, Adyas. So students, year later, one evening, as he stood on the board, took a final survey before going home. ଘରକୁ ଫେରିଗଲା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଗୋଟେ final survey କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି ନା ୱେଷ୍ଟମ୍ୟାନ କିଛି ବର୍ଷ ପରେ. He saw a car draw up on the road below. ସେ ରାସ୍ତା ଆଡକୁ ଗୋଟେ କାର ଆସି ପହଞ୍ଚିଲା. A man, a woman, and 3 children emerged from the car. ସେ କାରରୁ ଗୋଟେ ଓମେନ ଆସିଲା ଗୋଟେ ମ୍ୟାନ ଆସିଲା ଆଉ 3 ଜଣ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଲୋକ ଆସିଲେ କ୍ଲାଇମ୍ବ ଦ କଣ ହେଇଛି ଆମର ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଭାଗରେ ବନ୍ଧ ଯୋଉଟା ବୋଲି କହୁଛେ ପୋଖରୀର. When they approached, the watchman felt a start at his heart. ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ଆପ୍ରୋଚ କରିକି ଆସିଲେ ଆଗେଇକିରି ଆସିଲେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଏନର୍ଜେଟିକ ଆଉ ଏନ୍ଥୁସିଆଷ୍ଟିକ ମୁଡ ଆସିଲା ତା ଭିତରେ ନା ୱାଚମ୍ୟାନ ମନରେ ରିଏଲି ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍. When they approached, the watchman felt a start at his heart. The figure and face of the woman seemed familiar to him. ସେ ଯୋଉ ଲେଡିଜ ଲୋକ ଥିଲା ତା ଫିଗରଟା ଏବଂ ତାର ଫେସ୍ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଟା ସବୁ ଗୁଡା ମିଶି ଯାଉଥିଲା କୋଉ ସେ ଯୋଉ କମିଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରିକି ଯାଉଥିଲା ଝିଅ ସହିତ. Though the woman was altered by years, ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ବର୍ଷ ବଢିଗଲା ପରେ woman ର କିଛି ନିହାତି ଚେଞ୍ଜିଂ ଆସିବ. The face of the woman seemed familiar to him, though the woman was altered by years and ornaments. ସେତେବେଳକୁ ଭଲ ଅର୍ନାମେଣ୍ଟ ପିନ୍ଧିଥିଲା ମ୍ୟାରେଜ ପରେ ଆଉ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ ପିନ୍ଧିଥିଲା. He thought that he had now recognized the face of that face he had once seen by the lantern light. Watchman ଭାବିଲା ଯେ ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ସେ ବୋଧେ ମତେ ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବେ ସେ ଝିଅ ମତେ ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବ କାରଣ ସେଦିନ ମତେ ସେ ଦେଖିଥିଲା ଲଣ୍ଟନ ନାଇଟ ରେ ଆଉ ଆଜି ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଚିହ୍ନି ପାରିବ ଯଦି ବସିକି ସେ ଫ୍ଲୋରିସିଂ ମୋଡରେ ଅଛି. The woman perhaps getting to be rich, perhaps getting to be fashionable after her marriage. Still then the recognition is yet to be unaltered. He felt excited at his discovery, at this discovery. ଏଥିରେ ବହୁତ excited ହେଇଗଲା କିଏ ନା watchman. He had a numerous questions to ask. ସେ ଭାବିଲା ସେ ଝିଅ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆସିଛି ମୁଁ ତାକୁ ବହୁତ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ ପଚାରିବି କୋଉ ଜାଗାରେ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ କଲ ହଜବେଣ୍ଡ କଣ କରନ୍ତି ପିଲାମାନେ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତମ ଶାଶୁ କେମିତି ତମ ଶ୍ୱଶୁର କେମିତି how you are living with them ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ କେମିତି ଚଳୁଛ. And my advice, my preoccupation on the day towards commitment of suicide may be embracing to you. ମୁଁ ଯୋଉ ଉପଦେଶ ଦେଇଥିଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଝିଅ ଆସିଥିଲା କମିଟମେଣ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସୁଇସାଇଡ ସେଇଟା ତାକୁ ଫ୍ରୁଟଫୁଲ ବା ଭ୍ୟାଲୁଏବଲ ହେଇଛି. ଏଇଟା ପ୍ରେଡିକ୍ସନ କାହାର but she merely threw at him at an indifferent glance and passed on. ଝିଅଟା ତାକୁ ନ ଚିହ୍ନିଲା ଭଳିଆ ପଳେଇ ଗଲା ଏବଂ ତାର ଟିକେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ଅର୍ଥାତ୍ ଚିହ୍ନିକିରି ନ ଚିହ୍ନିଲା ଭଳିଆ ଆଟିଟ୍ୟୁଡ ଦେଖାଇଲା, ଉଦାର ଭାବ ଦେଖାଇଲା। He stood staring after her for a moment, baffled. ତା ପାଟିରୁ ଆଉ କୌଣସି ଶବ୍ଦ ଆସିଲାନି, ନିର୍ବାକ ହେଇଗଲା, baffled। କିଏ watchman ଖାଲି ଜଷ୍ଟ ଚାହିଁକିରି ରହିଲା, ଆରେ ଏଇଟା ମୋ ପାଇଁ ଡ୍ରିମ୍ ନା ରିୟଲିଟି, ଏଇଟା ମୋ ପାଇଁ imagination or reflection? So probably this is someone else. ମତେ ଭାବିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କିଏ ଝିଅ ବୋଧେ ଆଉ କିଏ ଥିଲା, unless I shall have to be sorrowing. He muttered and turned to go home. ଏବଂ ବୁଲି ପଡିଲା, ଘରକୁ ଚାଲିଲା, resolving to dismiss the whole episode from his mind. Forgot. Let bygone be bygone. That is the concept of William Shakespeare. Never trust a woman. Don't try to get wasted by women are frailty in nature. Don't tie yourself on the wrinkling of any woman or girl child concern. କଥାରେ ତା ୱାର୍ଡରେ ବଶୀଭୂତ ହେଇକିରି ଜୀବନକୁ ବର୍ବାଦ କରିବା ଏବଂ ତା କଥା ଭାବିବାଟା କେବେ ଉଚିତ ନୁହେଁ। ମୁଁ ବି କହୁନଥିଲି ଏଇ କ୍ଲାସରେ ଗତ ଥର ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ମୋ ଜୀବନ କଥା ଏ ବର୍ଷ ଗପିଦେଲି, କେତେ ମୁଁ ସାକ୍ରିଫାଇସ କରିଥିଲି ପୂଜା ପାଠ କରି ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ। ମୁଁ ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ନଟ୍ ଓରିଡ୍ ଆଟ୍ ଅଲ୍। ପ୍ରକୃତିରେ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ସେଦିନ ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ ବଡ ମିଷ୍ଟେକ୍ ଥିଲା ତମ ଆଗରେ ଡିସକ୍ଲୋଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ପର୍ସନାଲି କହିବାଟା ବହୁତ ଭଲ, କିନ୍ତୁ ମୁଁ କ୍ଲାସରେ କହିଦେବାଟା କାରଣ ଇଟ୍ ହାପେନ୍ସ। ଆମେ ଏତେ ଦିନର ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ଟିଚର ଲାଇଫରେ ଆମେ ବହୁତ ସେଭଳି ଦେଖିଛୁ, ବଟ୍ ଗୋଟେ ୱାର୍ଡ ୟୁଜ କର, ଲେଟ୍ ବାଇଗନ୍ ବି ବାଇଗନ୍। ସେ ପିଲା ସେମିତି ହେଲା, ଆଦ୍ୟାଶା ସେମିତି ହବନି, ତନୁ ସେମିତି ହବ, ପ୍ରିୟଙ୍କା ସେମିତି ହବ, କି ତମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ହବନି। ତମେ ଜଣେ ଟିଚର ଆମ ପାଇଁ କିଛି କଣ୍ଟ୍ରିବ୍ୟୁଟ କରିଛନ୍ତି କି, ଆଟଲିଷ୍ଟ ଗୋଟେ ରେସପେକ୍ଟେସନ ରହିବା ଦରକାର ନା କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି? ଅଲମୋଷ୍ଟ ଅଲ୍ just leave tips in package. Good morning, sir. How are you? It is sufficient. Good afternoon, sir. How are you? Father and mother, the lecturer is sitting there. Just response to them. At least ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ response ଦେଇପାରେ, it will be enough. So let bygone be bygone. It will come. It happens to. That means I don't consider that almost all the girls and boys like to her or her family members. And we the teacher most of the time also remarkable for our contribution, because at the present scenario, coaching or tuition is guided by monetary relationship. That's why all maximum people think that it is a business, but some teachers are not business oriented personalities. Had it been business, I could not have been flown to Puri to worship Chinnamasta Devi at 1 p.m. tonight, which is sent with a devotee. I'd expended near about 1,200 rupees. But rupees doesn't matter. I could control a personality, a fellow on the back. That is really. So be consistent. And it is my advice, students. Shakespeare told that doesn't matter. That is relating to British culture. But Indian culture is nothing but a culture of worshipping. The teacher-student relationship is very pure. It is 24 karat gold. And with the teachers and our students are always noble. It is relating to God and devotee. It is relating to iron and magnet. That's why our celebration is guided by teacher-student relationship, and we are observing each and every year September 5th or 5th September as unholy day, an auspicious day, a noble day for the noble relationship between among ours. Okay, students. चैप्टर सरला आर क्वेश्चन आंसर नेक्स्ट क्लास रे अलगा कोचिंग रे जेते बेले देबी तुमको देई देबी चैप्टर टा मु भाबुची गोटे प्रकार मोरल लेसन काहे तीनटा क्लास रे पढेई गेसिली मु सेई जगह 3 रा दीटा पैराग्राफ पढेई दिली आर क्लास को स्टार्ट करिबा 3 टा नोट देई देबी तापर 3 टा को स्टार्टिंग रो पुनी एंडिंग गोटे दिन सरी गल के भलो लागुची आ पार्ट पार्टी रहि गेले मोर भी मन पड़नी मु फोन करी पचारती कोन पढेई छी कोन नै मते टिके भी हम करिबा प्रॉपर वे रे ओके ले थैंक्स अ लॉट जो साथ में कोई